All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. We're grateful that you're able to make it. It's a Saturday. Ordinarily, you should be resting, you should be doing some house chores and all of that, but you have decided to learn. Okay, so it makes a lot of sense. So good to have you here. You can be sure that your time will not be wasted because you will get a lot of value from this class. Okay. So my name is Shola Igbusi. I'm a business analyst. I'm a data analyst. Um, and by providence, by grace of God, I'm privileged to be the Chief Transformation Officer for Business and Tech Transformation Academy. So what we do, if you want to wrap it up in just one word at BATTA, is transformation. We like, we love, we cherish transforming people, making them go from where they are to where they should be, okay, in terms of personal development, all right? So that's what we do basically, and we're glad to have all of you here. So before I go into the class, let me tell you very quickly what we do at BATTA so that you have an understanding of what we do. And and also by providence, I also run a radio program on two radio stations. It's called the Radio Business School, okay, where we teach people how to do business in the proper way. So BATA stands for Business and Tech Transformation Academy, all right? And basically, we are very passionate about, about innovation. We're passionate about technology. We're passionate about staff development and all of that. We offer a wide array of services, and I'm sure you're going to get to know about that in a bit, okay? We want to go global. That's our vision, okay? And so in this call, you have people joining from different parts of the world, different countries. Of course, you are in the WhatsApp group, so you must have seen some numbers that are not Nigerian. We want to go global in affecting lives, okay? That's our vision, and we will do everything possible by the help of God to do that. We really believe that everybody can do well, okay, if they are positioned to do that, okay? We are very passionate about a prosperous future for people, all right? So transformation, basically that's what it is. We're looking forward to a time where we begin to consult for government with respect to business, with respect to data analysis, using data analysis to get to the next level. And of course, for individuals, for companies, fostering innovation and sustainable growth, okay? So our target, of course, youths, adults alike, people who want to learn tech skills and get remote jobs that can pay them, in dollars and all of that. Of course, we help business owners to consulting for them, telling them the best way to do business. Statistics have shown that 90% of startups, okay, businesses that start don't live beyond the first year anniversary. And so what that simply means is that they die after the first year. And guess what? 90% of the remaining 10% don't even live beyond the fifth year anniversary in their business. All right. So it means that a lot of people don't actually know how to do business in the proper way. So for us, we pride ourselves in training, in strategy, in consultancy to help people get to the next level. And we're doing that, one step after the other. All right. So tech training, business trainings, business consulting, staff training, HR. These are the things that we do. All right. And yeah, so for the tech training, different kind of courses that we offer. For the business trainings, of course, we do that on radio and some other avenues. Business consulting for companies, staff training, and all of that, HR services, and all of that. Of course, if you have, you run a business, you have a company where your staff are not really doing so much in terms of productivity and efficiency, we can help you do that. All right. So we've got different experts working with us in in this organization. So we do virtual assistance training. A lot of people don't know that they can be in Nigeria, offer virtual assistance, services to people and, get paid in dollars. A lot of people don't know, but it's real. It's very real. We teach artificial intelligence, animation, video creation, video editing, graphic design, website design, landing pages, a whole lot. UI, UX, business analysis, business intelligence, data analysis, Google Ads and analytics, e-commerce, digital marketing, a whole lot um, that we offer. Okay, and we have different bundles. Okay, the media bundle, having all of these courses under them. I'll just go as fast as possible. All of these bundles, you have them, and then we have the high level bundles. Of course, high level bundle attract better salary in the marketplace. Okay, so for example, if you study data analysis, you get paid well, definitely. Business and intelligence and all of that, product management, project management, you will be paid a lot more in the job market. Okay, and of course, software testing and all of that. All right, so that's what we do basically. We don't just train you; we spice it up with mentorship, because mentorship is really what it is. If a woman is trying to prepare, say, semo or amala, the child looks at it, but that's not enough. The child should be mentored to also do it. So, and that's why in this class, it will be practical. We give you the training, we give you the mentorship so that you can really, really, really know it. All right. Okay. So you're welcome to BATTA. For all of the packages I've shown you, I mean, the basic bundles, 100K, the high-level bundles, 500K, there's a 50% 50% discounts going on. You want to grab it. All right. So let me go straight to the class of today without wasting our time at all. And we're going to be looking at data analysis. All right. So before we go into that, let me do a kind of mindset shift for somebody here. All right. I think that's really, really important. A lot of us here, probably we have a background in, I mean, we're from African countries, some outside Africa and all of that. A lot of people complain about unemployment, complain about no job, poverty, and all of that. Before now, we used to have what we call the industrial age. Now, before the industrial age, we had the agricultural age. Now, in that particular time, and that dates back to even the days of Adam and Eve and all of that, farming was the main thing. The richest person in those days were farmers. Okay, they're planting things and all of that. Then we moved to the to the education era, where people now started going to school. Okay, so the richest person then will be the principal. People education. When they graduate from school, they give them a car, they give them an apartment. I mean, that was the order of the day. So for our fathers and mothers, they enjoyed all of that. Then from the education era, we moved to the industrial era, where people were now creating companies. So the people creating companies were the richest, the Fajem Irokun of this world, the Abiola of this world. Now we have Dangote and all of that. Okay, so but then we're in a new era. It's called the knowledge era. It's called the fourth industrial revolution. Okay. As a matter of fact, the fifth industrial revolution is even close by. So what am I trying to tell you? Some of the skills that were useful in the agricultural era are no longer useful now. Some that were useful during the education era, when people say, my child has to be a doctor, lawyer, blah, 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 they are no longer useful. And that's the truth of the matter. Even doctors now are stranded, okay? In the knowledge era, what you need is knowledge. What you need are digital skills, tech skills that can take you to the next level, all right? Someone who has a tech skill will earn a lot better than a doctor, a lawyer now. And that's why, please pay attention to this class, because you're about to take a step that will change a lot of things about you, okay? So pay attention to data analysis. It's a 21st century skill. A lot of companies need data analysts now, all right? Whether here or abroad. As a matter of fact, for some of you who might be planning, oh, I want to go abroad and all of that, pay attention to data analysis. For many of our brothers and sisters who have traveled abroad, you know what they do? They will get $5 per hour job, $10 per hour job. And at the end of the month, they get about $2,000. By the time they remove the taxes and all of that, they are not really okay, but at least they are better than when they are in their home country. All right. If you want to travel abroad and you really want to enjoy yourself, you want to live the big boy life, the big girl life, go for a tech skill, go for a digital skill, e.g., data analysis. I can guarantee you, when you get abroad, you cannot, a data analyst does not get less than $5,000. Yes. And I mean, go do your research. Google is your friend. Okay. So if you're going to travel abroad, please don't go with the skills that you got from your university that cannot guarantee you a good job. When you travel abroad, the job you'll be able to get will just be all these many jobs. At the end of the day, yeah, you might be better in a bit, but then why don't you step up to a better life by getting a job that's a lot better, especially when you have all of those opportunities around you. All right, so having said that, let's go into data analysis. All right, so in this class, we'll be looking at the concept of data analysis, the concept of business intelligence, who a data and business intelligence analyst is, the job responsibilities, the skills and competencies, benefits of data analytics to business owners, types of data analysis tools, a data analytical framework. Look at data creation and sources. Don't worry, you get to. I mean, those things might be sounding strange to you, but I can tell you as we move on, you get to understand it. So by the end of this class, you should be able to understand the concept of data analytics. You should be able to understand business intelligence. Um, all right, some people's background is just so noisy. I've just muted you. So we'll describe the different types of data analysis. You will look at the data analysis framework, we understand data collection, and then we'll look at data sources. All right. All right, moving on. So let's look at the concept of data analysis. All right. What exactly is data analysis? Data analysis is a process. Okay. So imagine that you want to prepare a soup. Okay. A vegetable soup, edikaikon soup, oha soup, all those beautiful soups. All right. It's a process. You need to sit down and say, okay, what exactly do I want to prepare? And you begin to write down the items on a sheet of paper or the notepad, phone. All right. It starts from that. It starts from you thinking. It starts from you writing it down. It starts by you saying, okay, do I even have the money to do this? All right. You then step out. You say, okay, I'm going to the market. You buy those things, from one or two persons and all of that. You bring it to the house. You begin to watch whatever you need to watch, and then you separate whatever you need to separate. You boil, you I mean, you do all manner of stuff. At the end of the day, you get a wonderful soup and you consume it. It makes sense to you. All right. So data analytics, if you like, or data analysis is the process of examining some data sets. For example, you collect data from a particular town or city or village. Okay, let's use a village, for example. You collect the data of pregnant women. Okay, so why would you collect data? If not that you want to do something with the data, all right? So we don't just collect data for collecting sake. National census, you collect data. It's not for fun. Voter registration, okay? It's a means of collecting data. It's not for fun. So You collect the data and you want to draw conclusions from it. So for example, you've collected data of pregnant women, isn't it? What do you want to do about it? You want to know the number, you want to measure maternal mortality rate, the rate at which, pregnant women, die, all right? So you collect the data and you begin to look at the data and you want to draw conclusions from it. So you want to say, is it because the health center is about 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers away from the village? Maybe that's why some of the women have miscarriages, their children get to die after they give birth to them, maybe due to stress, or even the mothers themselves die after, putting to bed. You process that data and then you draw conclusions. You say, okay, you know what? These people are too far from the health center. So the stress they even go through to get to the health center is too much. That's the conclusion. Or you can say the source of water is from the well or from the river. There's lead poisoning. Okay, there's lead poisoning. So that lead poisoning, when they drink lead, okay, lead is a metal, okay? They drink lead from the water, and it gets to affect their baby. It gets to also affect them too. So some diseases come up and then they eventually die. That's the conclusion you are getting from that particular data set. All right. Or you collect data from a business. All right. Maybe marketing data, how you were able to sell in a particular year. All right. So you can draw conclusions and say, okay, from this data, it looks like we have not done well this particular year, but we did well last year. So what happened? That's what a data analyst would do. All right. So data analytics is about, taking raw data and uncover patterns, extract valuable insight from it. So you can look at the data from that village and say, okay, it looks like the pregnant women, they die around so time. It looks like our business at so quarter, the sales drop, and it has been happening for the past 3-4 years. That is a pattern. All right. So you can then use that particular pattern that you have, deduced, to now advise your CEO, advise management. All right. So your data analysis or data analytics process will involve you getting data, that is collecting data. All right. So for business owners who are here, time. So you have sold, this is June now, right? We have spent 6 months already. Okay. 2 quarters gone. Are you going to send a customer survey form to your customers to say, okay, how did you, or this second quarter, did we serve you well? What were the low points? Okay. You should collect data. Imagine a country whereby the population are growing and the government is not paying attention. They are not collecting data. That's not good. Okay. So you collect data, you clean data. What do we mean by cleaning data? You can have a data set that is dirty. What do we mean by that? All right. Imagine that you go on a website. So somebody says, hey, I'm organizing a webinar, register for my webinar on this website. And you go on the website and you are filling in your details, your name, your email address, blah, blah, blah. And because of network problem, you submitted the form and it looks to you that, oh, it didn't go through. Now you've now filled the form again. You now submitted. It now told you submitted. You now say, wow, okay, good. I've now submitted my form. Not knowing that the first one you actually did was actually also submitted. Imagine that. So in the database of the people organizing the webinar, they might have about, they will have you 2 times register. Now imagine about 10, 20 people who have done, who have undergone the same, experience. Let's imagine that, you have about 10 people. So everything in database says that 98 people have. Now, 10 people actually have duplicates based on their network problem, and all of that. So, and they need 100 people in that webinar. You have 98, but guess what? That 98 is not true because you have duplicates in there. So what you need to do to that database as a data analyst is to clean that data. You have some dirty stuff there. So what do? You just remove the duplicates, all right? You remove the duplicates. So when you have done that, you can then analyze the data, you interpret the data, you create reports that you can visualize, that people can see, all right? Your CEO will not be bothered. Long line of Excel, okay, that you are presenting. So imagine that we do census now. The data will be in a very in Excel, and you can imagine the information of about more than 200 million people. Your the president, for example, is not interested in that, 200 million lines of Excel. He will be interested in your report, in your dashboard. Okay, that's what it can make sense of. Okay, so as a data analyst, you'll be you'll be interpreting data, you analyze data, you interpret data, you create reports that can be visualized, e.g., partial, histogram, scattered chart, okay, maps, different kinds of stuff, to show, your CEO, to show management what data is talking about and how you can take it to the next level. All right. So as a data analyst, you are really, really in a good position, to help businesses grow. Okay. For example, maybe you are the head of sales in your organization. All right. You must create data that shows how sales is moving, okay, and what the problems are, all right, and what can be done to make things a lot better. Okay. So you identify a problem. All right. You identify a problem. If you want to do data analysis, you identify a problem, you collect data. That's the problem. Okay, let's collect data. What's happening to them? Let's ask them questions, all right? So when you collect the data could be dirty. For example, voter registration. Somebody has registered before, but went again to do another voter's registration. So INEC, the board, the commission in charge of voting, election, and all of that, needs to clean the data. You must not have somebody that has two voter cards. So they are going to clean the data by matching the data they have before, compare it to the data they have now. If there's anybody that has the same biometrics, for example, my fingerprint can't be the same with any other person. So if I've registered before and now I've registered again, all I need to do is to match my data that they have before, voters that they have before, and the voters that newly registered. And if anyone matches the same fingerprint, then that person will be blotted out. That person will be taken out from the new list. Okay, so they will leave the first registration while they will delete the second registration. That's data cleaning for you. Okay. How about analyzing your data? You analyze it, then you interpret it. Okay. So going by data we have gotten, it looks like we have 43% unemployment rate in Nigeria. You have interpreted that data. All right. Then when you interpret the data, you are supposed to identify a problem or a solution. So if we have 43% unemployment rate, that is alarming. That is serious. Okay, that's a big problem. If you are not careful, in the next few years, these young people who are unemployed will turn to touts, will turn to uneducated people who will just unleash mayhem on the society. So we have a problem at hand. So we must begin to, address unemployment. Okay, that's what that interpretation will tell you. So, okay, and you can begin to now create solutions. So what do we do? Let's create vocational skill center. Okay, let's create tech schools. Let's create, business training for students who are in university, so that even before they graduate, they already have business in their brain and they are ready to create jobs instead of waiting for somebody to give them a job, right? These are the things you do as a data analyst, okay? And then let's come to business intelligence, okay? Business intelligence involves you using technology to analyze your data. I can imagine how they were doing sensors 30, 40 years ago. They would have written the house, they will get your data, and then they will get all the papers, take it to their office,